running, I'm losing my grip. Storage costs rising, they'll never let me skip. Refunds I'm eating, returns pile up too. Oh, Amazon, what else will you do? I look at my dashboard, my profits erased. My margins are gone, it's a slap in the face. Prime Day's a promise, but it's such a race. How much will I make if I'm replaced? It's a cruel, cruel number. Fees keep climbing, profits torn asunder. Oh, it's cruel, the sellers wonder how to survive when the margins go under. It's a cruel, cruel number. Every month it's something new to plunder. Oh, it's cruel, it's no wonder we're stuck in this game, the algorithm's thunder.
Yo, Amazon's back, and they got a new scheme. Reimbursement slashed, it's every seller's dream. They're digging deep, taking more from the pot. Let's break it all down, expose what they got. March 25, it's a policy drop. They say manufacturing costs, but we know it's a flop. Give us your cogs, they're demanding the price. But if you don't, they'll estimate nice. Nice for them, not for you. Watch a payout shrink. That comprehensive evil is a corporate wing. Lost in the warehouse, damaged on the floor. Now they pay you pennies, not a cent more. Fees on the rise, profits on the run. They don't lift a finger, but they pocket the fun. We're fair! They shout while they cut our shares. Amazon math, man, it's full of errors. Fees, taking our dough. They're stacking the deck, and it's sellers who owe. Reimbursements? Nah, they're taking us down, but we're still here, we don't mess around. Fees, straight to the top. Amazon's game, it'll never stop. Margins tight, but we keep the grind. Sellers unite, we're one of a kind.
I try to sell my product on Amazon, thought it'd be a breeze. But little did I know I'd be stuck with seller support disease. They never seem to solve my problems, just give me the runaround. I'm tired of waiting on hold. My patience is wearing thin, I'll never be found. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck. Can't get no satisfaction. I'm out of luck, out of luck, out of luck. You don't care about my business, just trying to make a buck. Amazon seller support, you suck, you suck, you suck.
This one's for the sellers on the grind, getting left on red, wasting all their time. I hit up support, got an auto reply. Thanks for your patience, man, I wanna cry. Inventory lost, my margins are toast. The reps playing tag like the Casper the Ghost. They pass me around, it's a never-ending game. Nobody takes action, everybody shifts blame. My ASIN's down, I'm out of the race. They say they'll escalate, yo, what a disgrace. Amazon seller support, you're breaking my heart. No answers, no fixes, just tearing me apart. Hours in the queue, stuck in the dark. Amazon seller support, you're missing the mark.
Amazon game plan, that is the key. Seller central dashboard, that's where I be. Analyze the funnel, see what we lack, then we optimize. Sellers know it's a fact. I get it poppin', you know that it's lit. Climbing the rankings, ain't no room to quit. I check the data, they notice the stats. I keep the method, that's how you adapt. Metrics are showing, you know it's our cap. Amazon sellers, it's time to react. I'm about that action, I do this with passion. I got them like, whoa, what is this? Huh, whoa.
I don't know, dude. I think everybody's just buying stuff based on reviews and badges or whatever. They don't even know who we are. These customers don't even know the name of my brand. But they keep clicking add to cart like it's part of the plan. They see that Amazon badge and think it's all grand. But yo, they don't even know the name of my brand.
Click, scroll, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell a day. Now listen up, I'm Steven Pope. Amazon guru, I'll help you cope. Step 1, get that trademark stamped. Without brand registry, your Amazon cramped. Head to Seller Central, log in quick. Manage stores tab, yeah, that's the trick. Upload your logo, flex that style. You're about to make Jeff Bezos smile. Where pick a template, marquee or grid. Drop your tiles like a branding whiz. Hero image, big and bold. This store's gonna glitter like digital gold. Flex, grow, build your store. Amazon's waiting, what you waiting for? Brand it loud, make it shine. Steven's here to drop the rhyme. Blue tiles, banners, plug and play. Your storefront's live, let's sell today. Yo. In the trenches of the Amazon game, trying to survive while it's driving me insane. Nobody warns you, they just claim it's passive income. Nah, it's pain. I'm sitting at a birthday, laughing, chilling, next to a newbie Amazon seller spilling. She's like, Prime so smooth, it's a killer. Then tried to sell, now she's stuck in a thriller. Finding products, yeah, that's the first grind. Scrolling Alibaba, losing my mind. Sample suck, manufacturers decline. I'm like, dang, how's anyone doing this fine? Ship it in, pay for the bubble wrap, but they ship glass bottles in padded crap. Now I got hot sauce leaks, refund stack, customers pissed. Man, I'm under attack. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Trademark wars, brand registries a scam. They banned my brand, now I'm in a jam. Listings yanked, products ranked and tanked. Lost dogs in the catalog, my account shanked. Now let's talk ads, it's a rabbit hole. 1,000 hours deep, man, it's taking my soul. Weekly negations, bulk sheets for control. Excel's my new weapon, but it's taking its toll. SEO's no joke, keywords in the game. All text, A+ content, playing insane. Lifestyle shots, avatars for fame, but the CTR's low. All products look the same. Amazon's a beast, it's a fight, no peace. From SEO to PPC, from SEO to PPC, the hustle don't cease. Think it's passive? Nah, you better increase your tolerance for chaos or face defeat. Let's go.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Noah Wickham. I'm sales director here at My Amazon Guy, and this is Friday live Q&A for My Amazon Guy. I don't know what's going on with the timer there, but I guess we are. I guess we're live, so to speak. So at least I think so. I should probably check our channel. I think, or maybe Gil on the back end will tell me. Either way. I'm here to answer a bunch of questions today, as we always do. So let's hop right on into. We had a question at 9 a.m. this morning, 3 hours before we go live. Ricardo was in here early, ready to ask his question. So let's do it. To adjust the campaigns, what time period do you use? Example: last 7 days, last 30 days, from the beginning of campaigns, etc. I typically like to look at the last 7 days, 14 days, and 30 days. So that's how I kind of go about it. It really depends, right? So are you trying to adjust bid adjustments, right, based on your last 7-day performance? Or are you trying to do budget analysis based on the last 30 days? So that's realistically how we are going to essentially look at the differentiator between those two. So yeah, usually it kind of just depends on what you're trying to adjust. Placement wise, I usually like to do placement off of a 14-day and that 30-day look back, just to understand a little bit more as to how we are performing within a larger gap of time, rather than something like a bid that you probably adjust every couple of days, so to speak. Let's see. Rosina, thank you, Mag, for showing up again. Love the weekly tips and help. Always happy to be here, even if I came in a surprising fashion, I suppose. One hijacker has stolen the buy box of one of the size variations based listing. Is there a way for me to find out what sales are going to this hijacker on that variation by ASIN and period? No. So, I mean, you could technically take the seller ID and you could throw it into Helium and you can get a rough guess of what their sales volume is, but you can't figure out exactly, how many sales they have necessarily stolen from that. You obviously can see, buy box percentage that you have versus everyone else on the listing, but you can't see specific, just like sales to like one individual seller, unfortunately. What's the process for UK IPO trademark application number in my Amazon brand registry account? The original application expired, but I have a new application for same trademark / new serial number. Ooh, so it means that you likely have to refile that trademark on brand registry. You can do this under the current brand. You'll have to open up a brand registry support case to do so, unless Amazon already declared that brand dead, in which case you might have to go through the process of essentially creating a brand new brand registry, registered brand for it, and then doing a brand name change, quote unquote, over into that brand. But I would start with the brand registry support and see if they'll let you update the serial number for the brand if Amazon hasn't caught wind yet. Is it permissible to use photograph of product packaging as a listing image where it is showing the Amazon transparency sticker on it? Can I also use this in A+ content? So you can use it if you're going to be doing it in product, like photos. Technically, yeah, that's fine. You're not technically supposed to throw out the transparency and everything because it's IP, but you can do that. So show off that it's a transparency product of some kind. People also get that little badge that shows that it's a transparency product. So you're not really doing much to conversion that Amazon doesn't already show as is. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. Where are we at? Here we go. What are benefits if I maintain my seller account health 250 plus for continuous 6 months? Nothing. So Amazon is really interesting in this capacity. And the reason I say the word interesting is because Amazon does not care about people doing the right thing, so to speak. Amazon does care about people doing the wrong thing. So when you talk about, hey, do I get a benefit for keeping my account health at a high level where it's supposed to be? No. Amazon doesn't care about giving benefits. They only care about giving punishments. So if your account health falls, you get punished. If your account health stays at 250 plus, good for you, pretty much is the answer Amazon has. That they're not in the market of trying to give people incentive to do better. They're in the market of, I'm going to punish you if you don't meet our standard, essentially. Hi, do you use AI when writing listing descriptions? Could you share the prompts you're using? We do sometimes. So we'll use, just to speed up the process. Everything still goes through a manual QA process. Can I share the specific prompts? Maybe at some point in time. I don't have direct access to our SOPs around it. But if you buy our SOP library, myamazonguy.com/SOP, you can actually go ahead and get all of the prompts and all of our listing description tools, tips, everything in between, all the SOPs around it. So go check those out. We'll plug for our SOPs there. How do you do a brand registry for a client? Do you do this as secondary user through their Seller Central? I heard that it's necessary to use the right email, but could you clarify what this means? If you're talking about registering a brand, it has to be registered through the primary owner email. So you do not want to register a brand through a secondary email because you can't, first off. And second off, if you do, you are now the owner, and then you have to go through a brand registry ownership transfer, which is a real pain in the butt. So yes, we manage it through secondary users, but if you're talking about specifically registering the brand, the owner has to do that. You should not do that. I've updated my listing image in the back end and even opening a case, but the image is still not showing on the Amazon product page. How can I fix this? It depends. So the question would be, one, what category are you in? Two, what image are you trying to update? Are you trying to update like your main image? Three, are you doing it with new main image hack proper? Because as we have seen in recent times, main images have changed in how you are supposed to do them and what you were supposed to do there. So a couple of things, right? So to kind of keep note of there, the big thing to understand whenever we are looking at an issue with images, are you doing also via flat file? That's another thing. I would push via flat file if you can. I don't like using Amazon's backend at any point in time. The backend is just, it's broken. It's spaghetti code. It doesn't work. So push the image via a flat file. If that's still not working, it could either be a category issue or it could be that the image is not accepted by Amazon guidelines, basically. Oh, it's cracked my shoulder doing that. Goodness. Steven recommends to launch with large discounts, but what discount type should this be? Is it coupons or anything else? No, it's just straight off price off. So you'll have your list price, right? And then you'll have your sale price. Just do your sale price 50% off at launch, if possible. It's easy to optimize listing with a poor copy, but how you do this when the listing is already good? How do you know that the new copy and keywords will actually be better than the ones used before? All right. So if you've ever purchased any of our SEO courses, anything like that, that kind of answers this question. So another shameless plug today. Oh man, go through our SEO courses. It talks about our different SEO phases and the purpose of them. Now, big thing that I always like to look at is I always ask this question. Are you ranked number 1 in your category? Do you have anybody who is a top competitor in your category? Okay, cool. Are you ranked 1 in the category above yours? So the parent to that. Are you ranked 1 in the parent to that parent, right? There is always extra keywords you can add, right? There's always, even if it's low relevancy, even if it's something, you can always index more, right? You can always have more indexing. You can always have more ranking at the end of the day when it comes to keywords and how you are appearing on the platform, essentially, and who you are appearing to, I think is the better thing. So if you are not top ranked product, right, look at your number 1 competitor who is ranked number 1 in your category. Do they have more search terms? Do they have more keywords they're indexed and ranked for? Probably. And if they do, that means that the keywords are working, and you should definitely also be ranked for those keywords. I have 1 product in each campaign. I'm launching a variation, smaller size, cheaper price. Can I just add the new product to the existing campaign, or do I need to create a new campaign? I would personally create a new campaign. You can add it, but realistically, it's just better practice to create a new one. This will essentially allow you to better test and variate with that, especially knowing that it's a smaller size, cheaper price, right? You're going to have slightly different targeting, right? And slightly different metrics, right? It's going to be a little bit more expensive potentially because you'll have a higher A cost simply because your sale price is lower. So these are things to consider. I would just do new campaign personally. When you prepare PPC campaigns for launch, what do you need to set the date when they become active, or will they become active automatically when the advertised ASIN becomes active for the first time? They'll be active automatically. So you can just automatically turn it on, and then the second that your product is available for sale, it'll be available for sale, and campaign will be active. I don't know how to explain that. So ad campaigns do not run without a product to sell. So if you run out of inventory, let's say, your advertising campaign stops. If you have a new product that doesn't have inventory, it will not run. You cannot advertise a product without inventory on Amazon. It doesn't let you. It won't spend money. So that should, I think, clear up any confusion. Let's see here. I've been talking all morning, so my throat is just so dry right now. After Amazon started killing main images with the main image hacks, yep, you said that adding the packaging was still a viable option, but can we still add stickers like Made in USA and write on it? Ooh, not really. So maybe on the packaging, yes, but stickers, I'm up in the air about. It seems like stickers are kind of being considered badges. As long as it's not hanging off the product packaging, you should be okay. But, just don't make it look like it's a sticker on the packaging, right? Make it look like it's actually part of the packaging. That's the real big thing, I suppose. Dude, am I off center here? I think I am. I'm going to fix my camera here, guys. You get to see the magic behind the scenes. Normally it's the type of stuff that I would do during the countdown thing, but I don't know what happened with the countdown. So is what it is. So let me do this real quick. Watch the movie magic, everybody. Ooh, movie magic. Now I'm in the center of the screen. All right. Where were we? Liz, could you give us an update on what's going on regarding tariffs and what sellers are actually doing? Yeah. So I haven't talked about tariffs in a couple of weeks, so let's talk about tariffs real quick. So here's where we are at. Tariffs are still here. I talked a couple of weeks ago about how don't make any immediate changes, right? Because we don't know what is going to happen. And, for all we know, it could get worse. It could get better. Who knows, right? We're still in that capacity. Do I think that we are going to be past this tariff issue anytime soon? No. Honestly, at this point in time, I don't. I think that we are, there's going to be a lot of damage to small business before anything gets relieved. Now, that being said, last week is kind of when we first started seeing the actual impacts of tariffs. So the number of shipments that are coming to like the Los Angeles harbor and everything, which is like number one import location, right? That decreased significantly, right? It's a huge decrease. Another one recently is the freight cost is up due to that, right? So not only are tariffs affecting the cost of your goods, but the freight and the actual shipping is now being affected because the overall number of people who are shipping goods from China is decreasing. So freight, then the price has to increase, in tandem. So supply and demand, people's supply and demand is, I think, the name of the game right now. Now, what's my suggestion to the general seller? And what am I seeing people do? I'm seeing people move where their inventory is being manufactured very frequently. I think that's a very common practice that people are going along with, is essentially moving the inventory. Secondarily to that, I am seeing a lot of people also look at potentially down the line where they want to sell product. So I'm seeing a lot more people be like, you know what? This seems like a great time to invest in international markets. So going to Germany, going to the UK, going to Japan even. So definitely a time that I'm seeing a lot of people divest, I think, as much of their business from the US, which, counterintuitive, right, to what the tariff plan was supposed to be. But I suppose we'll get there. And then finally, I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about, things around manufacturing in the US. What I am seeing, though, is, even what we're doing, right? Bonded warehouses are becoming exceptionally popular, exceptionally filled up. I talked about bonded warehouses a while back. We have a partner, My FBA Prep, very good friends with Tom, the owner and CEO over there. So if you are looking for a bonded warehouse or a warehousing solution, go check them out. Very happy with those guys and what they provide as far as service goes. But yeah, that's the general news as far as what tariffs is going on. Nothing has changed. Obviously, yesterday we had a deal. A deal got struck with the UK that was pretty much a net negative neutral at the end of the day. I don't think anything is really going to come from the tariff thing anytime soon. Realistically, I think probably in the next 90 days, we're probably going to continue on with the tariffs. It's going to be probably another 60 to 90 days before we truly see like a major impact, right? That comes from the fact of people have to start getting their product, right? And prices are going to start rising here at some point in time. This is what I kind of talked about, of the idea of don't make any sudden movements until you have to. But at some point in time, prices have to rise. We have a couple of clients internally. There was one client who his overall cost of goods is $117,000 for a shipment from China. However, duties on top of that is normally about $40,000. For him to import the product with the new tariffs and new duties on his product would be $272,000. So he has to pay $272,000 to receive $117,000 worth of inventory. They are not going to be doing that, and they are no longer shipping from China. They moved all of their manufacturing pretty much day one, and they're going to keep it that way, right? Which I think, long term, that makes a lot of sense, but it only makes sense as long as the other tariffs and everything don't come into play. So we'll see. I know a lot of people have already moved their manufacturing, but obviously there's the looming tariffs that are going to be up here in 60 days, or the pause of them up in 60 days here. So we'll see. We'll see how everything kind of shakes out, I suppose. My FBA fees have increased since last month, which has caused my profit go down. However, the sales for this product are good. What do you suggest I do? Should I convert it to FBM? It depends. I mean, it is FBM. So there's always a cost analysis here, right? So has your conversion gone up significantly with FBA? If your conversion isn't going up significantly, like look at your bottom line. How much more profit are you making with FBM versus FBA or vice versa, right? That's the big thing to take in, is the big picture. What is overall profit? Are you with FBM making $1,000 profit from all of the orders you get from it, but then you move to FBA, your profit margin is down, but the overall amount of profit you are getting due to sales revenue increase is up to 1,500, right? That's how I always base this, is which one of them is going to put the most amount of money back into your pocket at the end of the day from both a sales conversion revenue, but also, understanding how you're actually looking at the entire big picture of the business. For fashion main images, can I add small flags to show where is the origin country? No, you can't. Also, main image stuff like that is dead. Craig, when submitting an item like athlete's foot cream, might require MSDS. Yep. How long does it take Amazon to get back to you if those and other documents like testing results are required for the ASIN? It can take a long time. I hate having to give that answer. The answer is that Amazon typically will get back to you within 72 hours. They'll tell you that within the cases. Now, that being said, they sometimes, and I will be full transparent here, it's one of the most annoying things Amazon does, but also funny things. They say, we'll review this and we'll get back to you within 72 hours. Cool. Thanks for that. They will get to the 70-hour mark and they will then send you an update and be like, we are still reviewing this. We'll get back to you in another 72 hours. And it's like, okay, what was the point of the original 72 hours, right? So the answer is it can take a day, it can take a week, and can take a month, right? There's not a defined timeline. Typically, I see it within usually about a week of submitting it. So hopefully that's kind of going to be the same case here, but it's not any suggestion on speeding that up? No. Just stay on top of Amazon, actually. That's the one suggestion I can always give, right? Stay on top. Be like, hey, this is what we need. Constantly just keep asking for updates on the case. If we increase the price due to low stock, we don't want to run out of stock. Will this affect our listing ranking? Only if your sales volume decreases. So, I mean, what's going to affect your ranking more? Running out of stock or having your sales volume decrease? That should be your answer. The answer there is that going out of stock is number one sin, number one crime on Amazon is going out of stock. Amazon SPP has sent me a Qualtrics questionnaire asking for additional brand details, e.g. logo, registration, banner, etc., for all service categories I was approved in. Have you received the same? Yeah, somewhat. We received some questions around essentially the brand itself. We haven't had to submit stuff like that as of yet. I've heard they are doing that for two reasons. One, they're just trying to collect data on all of the service providers that they have. And then number two, that also sounds a little bit like the SPN thing, right? So I will say that. But number two, because they're trying to weed out any quote unquote Amazon service providers, right? So anybody who has Amazon in the name. Thankfully, this is not our service provider, so we're not registered under that. This is a DBA technically. So I've noticed that PPC impressions tend to be high on weekends, but significantly drop during the week, despite the bids remaining the same. What strategies can we use to increase impressions? Yeah, so you can't. I mean, you can. If your impressions are dropping, right, during a specific time period during the week, one of two things happens. Either one, you have competitors that are potentially increasing their bids during part of the week and decreasing it during another part due to maybe their A cost is high, who knows? Or two, people aren't searching for those keywords during specific days of the week, right? I see this very common with people who are like B2B type products, right? B2B type products, Mondays, Fridays, they don't get crap all on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but Mondays and Fridays, impressions shoot to the roof. So it's just the case, right? You can check and you can test by increasing your bid during specific days and times to see if your impressions stay stagnant or if they increase with the bid adjustments. as a new brand, what do? We ran Vine program. Sub niche is there's nothing else past that. We have a bunch of stuff on this, right? So advertise, improve your click through rate, consistently optimize your SEO. Have good design work, ask for reviews, increase your review quantity, price discounts immediately, brand tailored promotions as soon as they're available. I mean, there's a lot of things you do as a new brand. I would just honestly go through our YouTube channel. We have plenty of playlists that go through all these type of things. How to analyze your Amazon campaign to get best results. Also, I have started recently, and my category is healthcare. Any suggestions? Yeah. So first off, healthcare. If you can, file immediately for HSA, FSA eligibility on your product. That'll help a ton when it comes to getting, the product some additional sales revenue at the end of the day, because people can purchase items on Amazon with their HSA, FSA cards, which is really cool in the healthcare category. As far as campaign to get best results, it depends on what you mean by best, right? So are you talking sales revenue? Are you talking best A costs? All of the above. I mean, that's just typical optimization, right? So there's not like a broad sense here is what you need to do. Have a good mixture of different campaigns. Typically, I'm going to say something along the lines of around a 50% exact, 30% broad, 20% phrase, right? That's a decent mixture. You can kind of play around with that depending on the category, depending on the relevancy of your product, how niche is the product. But that's like general rule of thumb. From there, always try and shoot for an 8 to 12% tacos on your product. This is, again, can be variable depending on your pricing and your profit margins, but 8 to 12% is what we typically see as a really good, spot to be in, I suppose. Craig, what are your thoughts on having the same as in be fulfilled by Amazon and fulfilled by merchant? Two separate SKUs, same as do it all the time. We do it all the time, and the specific reason is it makes it so you can never run out of inventory on the product, right? As soon as you run out of FBA stock, you move over to FBM. So yeah, I mean, we do it all the time. It's a great strategy. Make sure you stay in stock constantly. Doesn't do much as far as profit margin, right? Because your FBA one will dominate buy box like 99% of the time still. I know. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Do you think Prime Day will be affected by the tariffs? Is there any way to capitalize on it? I think it absolutely will. I think Amazon has thought about that for quite a while now. Here's my thoughts, though, around Prime Day. I hate Prime Day regardless. I am a Prime Day hater. And the reason is, if you take the decrease in sales revenue for the 3-week period before Prime Day and the 3-week period after Prime Day, and then you take the sales increase from Prime Day and you just average that out over that 6-week period, you will essentially see that your sales are stagnant across the board. There is very minor amount of increase. Now, can you get some gains in stuff like ranking, and can you get some gains in your overall volume? Yeah, but a lot of times it's just you're having lower sales volume overall. Your profit margin is taking a huge hit. Like Prime Day in general, in my opinion, sucks for the seller. There's not a lot of benefit from it. But that being said, can you benefit from the tariff thing? Maybe. I know that Amazon, has been stockpiling inventory for Vendor Central for Prime Day ahead of time, so they didn't have to pay, sellers increased costs. I know that, likely tariffs aren't going to affect Chinese sellers on Prime Day nearly as much as we think it will, right? So can you take it? Yeah, but I think a lot of sellers are just going to sit out this Prime Day. I don't think there's going to be a lot of deals going on. I think that it's going to be a little bit of a protest in response to fees, in response to tariffs, etc., and that there's just not going to be a lot of deals at the end of the day. Yesterday, I launched first PPC campaign, 30% less than suggested bid. I got 500 impressions a day and only a single click. I should increase my per bid budget because the listing images are good. So one question is, what is your placement modifier? Are you doing any placement modifier? Where are those impressions coming from? 2, Sounds like your bid is really, really low if you're only getting 500 impressions. 3, if you're only getting a single click, could be to optimize for your click-through rate. So take a look at your main image. That's much less on, bidding unless you're not going after high relevancy keywords. So look at your high relevancy and look at, what you're actually doing, so to speak. Let's see. I've been facing issues with high cost per click and low conversions in competitive niches. How can I effectively optimize PPC campaigns in 2025 without exhausting the budget? I don't worry too much about budget. If you are exhausting the entirety of your budget, that's a bit of a problem, right? That being said, the big thing to, I think, consider here at the end of the day is, how do you want to target, right? So what are your ACoS goals? What are your tacos goals? What are your sales goals? How do you want to target, right? Are you focused on essentially high cost per, or are you focused on trying to get like very competitive with your product? Is your product able to move into other niches? The reality is, if you're a super competitive niche, there's not a lot you can do as far as like real optimization. You're going to have extremely specific, high relevancy, exact targeting, probably top of search, and that's how you are going to grow. That being said, if your product can be utilized in other capacities, focus very much on broad campaigns. They're going to be, probably lower cost per click, probably still low conversions, but will be an easier way to maneuver. Dude, my Apple Watch is going off right now. I need to silence my notifications out here. I always forget to do this before the pod, and then all of a sudden something will happen and my phone's just blowing up, my Apple Watch is blowing up, etc. Does placement play any role in PPC now? Is there any benefit to increasing the placements? Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? That's absolutely the case. Top of search is going to be, your highest impressions, also your highest cost, probably your highest clicks. Whereas, rest of search, technically rest of search is usually going to be like your highest impressions, but it's going to be costing a little bit less to get those impressions and those clicks. You're just not going to get as many clicks. Product pages, I mean, the answer is yes. Absolutely, placements matter. Amazon brand registry declined due to brand/user involved in abusive conduct. How do you solve it? Ooh. So 2 things. Is it this usually relates to the lawyer. So a lot of times, oh goodness. So Amazon blacklisted a bunch of law firms from brand registry a couple years back. If that's the case, you have to change the lawyer on the trademark. Now, if it actually is a user issue, there's not much you can do there. If you're just denied from submitting a brand, you can't submit a brand. But I would check and see if it's a lawyer issue, and if they are blacklisted from submitting brands on brand registry, in which case you need a new lawyer to submit everything, and just add that to the brand registry documentation. I watched a video detailing how Chinese sellers are working together to share information to mess with US sellers. Be vigilant. It would explain why my store was getting hijacked. But once brand registered, I had the ability to remove them. They stopped trying. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty common. All the hijackers are from China. Black hat tactics at the end of the day. How to sell generic products without PPC as an individual account? You can't. I don't mean to be harsh, but you just can't. You're fighting such a losing battle against. I was going to move past this, but then I'll answer very directly. You're fighting such a losing battle against yourself. You are a generic product, right? You're a generic brand. Let me say that, but you're also a generic product, right? So your option here is pretty much fully just SEO. You don't want to do PPC. Amazon is a pay-to-play platform. It is next to impossible for a product to do sales without PPC in this day and age, unless it is a super hyper niche specific product, at least from launch, right? The only thing that drives ranking at the end of the day is sales velocity. So what you're saying is essentially, I want to launch a generic brand. So there's no way to search for the brand and it has no brand identity. Nobody's searching for it anyways. A generic product that likely has other people ranking against you. The only thing that could be a saving grace here, one single thing, if you're like 50% lower price than anybody else in the category, that is the only way I can see this being a saving grace. But other than that, it's just not possible. Is kind of my point. Let's see here. Hey, Noah, does changing the address on deposit method or charge method cause a verification or only the first time when you register? It can. It depends. It's not every single time. Usually they will. Just the security team is pretty strict about that kind of stuff just to make sure account hijackings don't take place. But it doesn't happen every single time, but it can is the answer. Let's see here. Dude, this guy submitted that multiple times. Brad, received an email today from Amazon. Are you familiar with this? Greetings from Amazon Brand Experience Team. You now have access to the customer return analytics and insights report. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty common place in Amazon. Let me see if I can just pull this up real quick. Where is that? Manage returns. View returns performance. Go to returns dashboard. I don't know if I have access to it on this account, Brad. But that being said, yeah, I mean it's a pretty common thing. I thought I could pull it up right now, but now I'm seeing that I might need to update my permissions on this account, which is also a good thing because, anyways. But yeah, no, I mean it's a pretty common thing. It's useful as well. One thing I'll say is if you have seen, Brad, recently the change with them doing like this is a frequently returned product for X reason with a little red banner on products. That's where you see if your average return ratio is higher or not. I'm in the UK in a very small niche, $100,000 total. Top sellers only selling 100 units. I mean, I sold 70 units a month and already Amazon choice. Should I still be running PPC on this niche? And this niche doesn't have many keywords. The top sellers are only ranked for 300 keywords. I'm happy with lower sales as I am new, but should I still run PPC? Feels a bit pointless on a small niche. You can, but do it in a lesser capacity, right? So focus on getting yourself as highly ranked organically as possible, right? Through PPC. That's going to boost you up, right? Sales velocity equals ranking. So try and get yourself ranked as high as possible in the category at the end of the day. And then just cut it. Do organic only, right? That's what really is going to be the best solution for you long term, because you need to continue getting that sales velocity to keep your ranking up. And you don't get that in a small niche category if you're not one of like the first people. How to fix blurry side listing images. Despite 2000 by 2000 pixels tested with JPEG, PNG, created using Photoshop and Corel Draw, but still looks blurry. What software Mag used and what settings? I mean, you're pretty much spot on with everything. We use Adobe for a lot of stuff, to be fair. If you're having issues with blurry images, one, it could be a category level issue. Two, submit to seller support to see if it is a specific issue to your listing. I've seen this before, especially with like main images in specific categories and such. But yeah, it's pretty common and it's usually solved fairly quickly as well. Is it common when conducting inspections to conduct partial inspections? Is there not a risk that some defective units could be missed and a customer could receive them and negative review come? I mean, if you're talking about Amazon conducting inspections, yeah, they do partial inspections all the time. Now, for you personally, no. I mean, I would always check every single unit I could. If you're talking about like manufacturer side, yeah, manufacturer side partial is very, very common. So the way to look at it when you were getting a product manufacturer is that every manufacturer knows that there is going to be a level or a degree of error. Typically, it's between like 0.5 and 1% of products have like some form of defect as like an average across industries, right? Some industries, it's a little bit higher, which is insane. Personally, if you ask me, if you order like 1,000 units and 20 of them 20 of them are defective or something, or 50 of them. That's insane, right? Or it can be much lower, right? Like 0.1% in some capacity. So it's very common. Partial inspection, they know what degree, so they're going to inspect essentially to see if they hit that, right? They're going to inspect some from here, some from here, some from here, from the full batch. Rahul, I use Designer 2 at 2500, no issue. That's also fine as well. What's the best way to edit / update locked attribute like SKU, manufacturer, etc. after listings created? What's the best advice when products sale more than 5K units a month with 800 plus reviews? All right, so updating and editing locked attributes, you can't. You have to create a new listing under the same exact ASIN, and then you have to do a listing merge. And you have to merge with all of the new attributes into the old listing, essentially, to keep the reviews there as well. So that's the only real way that you can end up doing that. Unfortunately, it's not easy. You can sometimes ask seller support and the catalog team, but it's rare that they will actually go ahead and do an update for you like that, just as a general rule of thumb type thing. Now, what's best advice when product sales are 5K units? Focus on your SEO. Focus on increasing your overall indexable and rankable keywords. PPC. Focus on your click-through rate, your conversion rate, the things that actually drive revenue at the end of the day. Are there any tools we can use to help with bid management, or any way we can do this on the campaign manager? I guess, what do you mean? I mean, there's like AI PPC software. I think it's crap. I wouldn't use it. I use bulk files whenever there's certain number of campaigns, right? I like bulk files a lot. I guess I would have to know what your setup is there. Nathan, I think. I have a headache from all the talking I've done today, so we might only do about an hour today here, guys. I have a product only Amazon Mexico flagged, but not US, of pet food can photo pedigree logo infringement. I removed logo / replaced with word pet food on can, but they still say it is in conflict. Submitted 5 times. Yeah. So one, this could be an issue specifically with the specific market. And I see this sometimes and whatnot. You can get IP flagged in one market, but not another. Now, secondarily, that the issue more often than not is that you have to, and this seems so weird, remove your A+ content. Remove the A+ content from the listing, resubmit the photos onto it, and then immediately see if you get backup. I don't know why, but I think it's that Amazon's system has a hard time essentially identifying changes within a listing when A+ content hasn't changed. Don't ask me. Again, spaghetti code backend of Amazon, but it works quite frequently. So I would try that first and foremost. Secondarily, that this also can happen because Amazon's backend essentially keeps all data, in which case you kind of have to just keep escalating the case and escalating. Attach photos directly to the case log as well. Noah, we are a product that sells 800 units per month and went out of stock for 3 months. We sent 6 months of inventory, but there is a big banner warning customer that this product is out of stock often. Any suggestions? Unfortunately, no. I hate this. It's such an annoying feature by Amazon because there's not a lot you can do for it. Now, that being said, I think Amazon has this weird, messed up idea that a banner like that is like a converting feature. Like people want to, purchase it because, it might be out of stock soon. I don't see it as that at all, right? I almost see it as like, this seems untrustworthy, right? That being said, what I would probably do is just focus on sales velocity for now. Just focus on sales velocity, focus on keeping your product in stock. It'll go away, usually within about 60 days. Ricardo Bartolini? Ricardo Bartolini. That's a good name. I like that name. It's normal to have a swing in CR. This is one of those moments, guys, where my brain is fried and I can't think of what CR is. Conversion rate? usually that's CVR, but I'm going to assume conversion rate. I mean, some days it's close to 20%, next day it's 5%, then it swings towards 10. First off, having a 20% conversion rate is phenomenal. But yeah, that can definitely be the case. It realistically just comes down to, what you're seeing on a day-to-day. You're never going to see exact same numbers every single day of the week. People are not buying the same way on Monday that they buy on Saturday, and they're not buying on Sunday the same way that they're buying on Wednesday, right? So every day of the week, you're going to see some form of fluctuation in this. I wouldn't pay a huge amount of mind to it unless you're also seeing like your ACOS spike during specific times when you're seeing like super low conversion. That's when I would usually look at doing something like day parting across the board to see if we can kind of lower our budgets or just make sure that we're staying within a certain ACOS goal for every single day. Hello, I hope you're doing well. I listed my product as a generic item and it's been about 4 months, but I've only sold 4 units. I still have 116 units in stock. My PPC ACOS reached 120%. Yeah. Focus on SEO. Keep optimizing SEO. Sounds like you probably aren't targeting on PPC all that effectively. I would be kind of curious what your relevancy is. Look at your top competitors. Focus on their top keywords from a both exact if it's long tail keywords, so more than 4, and then broad match as well towards anything 1 to 4 keyword ratio. Oh, what's the best product launch strategy? Price, A+, PPC, and how long in months the launch phase should last, and when the next phase and how long? I'm just going to move to the next question. Rahul, I'll say this. I both really like these questions because I like to see people who are very much trying to get the best strategy possible, right? I also hate this kind of question. And the reason I hate this kind of question is, one, it's 10, 15 different questions at once, right? While 2, there's not a specific answer I can give you, right? What is the product? What is your cost of good? You asked me, for instance, what is the best price? I mean, I'll tell you 50% of whatever your retail price that you want to be at launch is what you should have, right? That is just standard status quo. But then you're asking like PPC, okay, $2,000-$4,000. There you go. I can give you a bunch of generalities, Rahul, that I have seen across hundreds of different accounts and hundreds of product launches. But without more information, it's, I can't give you specifics here, is kind of my point. We also have tons of videos on this. Literally just type in product launch product launch, my Amazon guy, Google, YouTube, anywhere. So many resources. Sub for no reason gameplay. That's a pretty cool name. I'm about it. Hello, Noah. Is it smart to try and sell Islam product during Ramadan, or I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try and pronounce it because I'm going to butcher it. I don't want to be that guy. I will just admit now that I will butcher it. I saw the impressions increase on Islamic products during that time. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things that during any culture, it's the same thing with like Christmas, right? During Christmas time, you're going to see Christmas and you're going to see crosses and things like that jump up in impression share, right? So absolutely. Do I think it's smart? Yeah, go for it. Hello, sir. Don't stop live. I have a question. Okay. I'm still here. I'm still live. How much time Noah gave for campaign optimizations? How many times in a week? What's the first thing you do and what's the last? Like a day's schedule. What? I don't have a day schedule for optimizations. Here's what I'll tell you. Once every 48 hours, optimize your PPC. That means reviewing your campaigns, checking your ACOS, checking for wasted spend, checking for overspend of any kind in any capacity. Check your budgets. I always do from a 7-day, 14-day, and then a 30-day. If I'm looking to do a full account level audit, I do lifetime in some capacities. But that is only if I see that something that I haven't optimized in a long time is not performing. Then I do a lifetime to see when was it performing, if ever. Right? This is better for wasted spend. Always going to do negations once per week. So negations, look across the board for anything that you can negate as far as keywords. 1 time per week. Bid optimization once every 48 hours. There you go. So I'm in the process of switching out keywords. Should I put my top 25 ranking keywords in description, title, bullets, or do I put high search volume keywords with high sales volume, even though I'm not anywhere close to indexing for those keywords? Do I do a combo of the both? Combo plus backend search terms. So that's the one area you seem to be missing here in that kind of mix of things you're talking about. But yeah, combo of both, all of the above, so to speak. My back is very tight right now. Combo of all of the above, basically. New thing that happening this past several weeks. Generally, my organic sales are between 6 to 1. I've recently been day parting in afternoon. After 4 p.m., my sales usually pick up, almost equaling the morning. But the past month, my sales come to a halt at 6. Where I'll get lucky if I have one sale after 5. What's going on? PPC bids are competitive. So the entire chance either potentially somebody else is also day parting during that time, right? Or somebody else is specifically changing their bid structure during that time for that specific time of day. There's a chance that maybe your impression share is just dropping down during that time of day. People aren't actually looking for it anymore, right? People aren't buying. We're changing seasons. That usually can have a very large impact on this type of thing, more so than you would think it should. A big thing, think about the reason morning works really well and like night usually works really well is because the fact of people are working during the day, right? So they're not buying. But as seasons change, I know for me, for instance, 2-3 months ago, if you asked me at 5 p.m., it was pitch black outside. But now at 9 p.m., it's still sunny. So I'm not as likely to be purchasing. So all sorts of things can be the case here. What I would definitely check, though, is to see if you're getting the same amount of impression share during that time. When running a A/B test with Amazon Experiments, I have a test where the updated B version is higher in all areas except sales from search. Any idea why that is and any recommendations? What A/B test are you running? That would be my first question, right? So are you doing like title copy? Are you doing full listing overhaul? Are you doing main image? That's my first question. I typically see this type of thing where it is higher everywhere except for sales. And it's something like a copy overhaul, right? Or a click-through rate potentially. Could have a great click-through rate. It could also at the same time be not all that converting, right? So you could have changed a converting factor on your listing overall, or you made it seem like your listing was something that it wasn't. That's usually what I see in these kind of capacities. All right. I used to work at an Amazon agency, gain experience in selling. I left the agency 3 months ago and started freelancing. Nice. For one of my clients, when I first started working, the product was getting around 1,100 sessions per day. But over time, the sessions have been dropping, and now it's down to around 600 per day. Because of this, sales have dropped by 45%. Also, almost all the orders, around 90%, are coming from ads. We're not getting many organic sales. I've already done keyword research and updated title, bullet points, description, backend search, okay, terms, but it hasn't helped much. Okay, so first and foremost, I would check to see if you have a hidden suppression on organic. Everything you just said to me tells me that you likely are hidden suppressed. Take the ASIN of the product, throw it into Amazon search, and see if the product shows up. That is the very first thing I would do here, because that's exactly what it sounds like you have going on here. You essentially went from a bunch of sessions to only advertised sessions, right? So if you have a hidden suppression, pretty much ads are the only thing that show up, which is usually the case. Now, secondarily to that, I would question, how are you actually doing your SEO and keyword optimizations, right? Are you focused around search terms that are increasing your overall search volume and your ranking? Are you actually getting sales against those search terms? Because that's a big aspect of it, right? Even if you're generating through PPC, you should still be increasing your organic ranking in some capacity. So those are the kind of like 3 areas I would start with first and foremost, but really it sounds like a hidden suppression issue. My jaw hurts from talking. In search term query, where should my ASIN share be on keywords? So to know I'm doing well on that keyword. What determines the gauge of where it is, where compared to knowing in helium that shows ranking on that keyword X under 25 rank or organically ranked at 50 or 80? How do you know how it's tracked in ASIN share on search term query? So search term query is going to be more accurate than helium, right? Helium has to crowdsource data. It's going to be within about a 10% accuracy rating. How do you know how it's tracked in ASIN share on search term query? You know, because Amazon is the one tracking the data, right? So they always will show from an ASIN level the brand share, right? And that is exactly how it is. Now, how well should you be doing on that keyword? I mean, that's up in the air, right? You don't know other people's data. Like, you can pull that against helium, and that's one of the things that's nice about helium is you can compare, one ASIN versus the other, but you're not going to have necessarily that same data within search query, unfortunately. I would just focus on making sure you know where, what percentage of overall you're getting from your ICAP funnel, right? So if you're seeing a pretty low impression share, that's going to tell you likely your ranking's a little bit lower than it could be on a certain area, right? So Amazon has a recommendation, right? So you'll see that like search query score, right? So that's like their recommendation of ranking. I mean, you can technically get to like a number one ranking position, those type of keywords. We make a pizza cutter, but I can't get to page 1 for word pizza cutter unless I spend the majority of profit per click. Any suggestion? The pizza cutter, Ronald. No. Make sure that you have pizza cutter in your title, and that it's your number one high relevancy keyword, and that you just keep getting sales. Sales velocity is the number one way to increase ranking. And unfortunately, it's a super, I guess, saturated is the best way to put it, term, product. I don't know, right? Like, unfortunately, no, I don't have like a magic bullet. It's just sales velocity. And that's a hard one right there. Any updates on Prime Day dates? Is it announced? I don't believe so. Just that it's going to be a 4-day window. I can make some pretty accurate guesses though as to when. I know a product has been selling in USA as well as in Europe region, with Spain being the country of origin and all regions being brand registered. Trying to update titles and bullets in Spain, but they are not going through. Winning contribution comes from the USA merchant ID, while the Europe merchant ID is different, although they belong to the same seller account. Okay. Any tips on how to solve it so that updates in Spain go through? All right. So when you say that the merchant ID is different, that immediately tells me likely the accounts were set up separately, but they're still linked, right? You have to, the thing that's going to be annoying here is, do they have the same ASIN when you are cross-selling across from like Spain and the US and Europe? Because if they don't have the same ASIN, they are technically independent products. So you have to update on a marketplace specific level. This can happen for even just like individual marketplaces like it can Spain. I would submit a case if you're having this issue to make sure that you are merging your seller accounts. If they're not merged already, I should say. If you are doing everything through Amazon Global, then I would also submit a case to make sure that each one of the marketplaces is attached in Amazon Global that is supposed to be there. Past that, just do it marketplace specific at the end of the day. Winning contribution comes from USA merchant ID. I mean, yeah, that's going to be pretty common at the end of the day. So if you are having that issue and you don't want to have that, I would also, make sure that Amazon doesn't have the ability to sell your products internationally. I've seen this problem before where essentially Amazon ends up changing listing data in different marketplaces. You can also just completely separate them realistically if you really want to, which I'm not a huge fan of personally, but do flat file upload specifically to that market. Make sure that the markets are linked correctly. If you have the same ASIN within the markets, you can always do an ASIN change or an ASIN swap if you don't want to share reviews or anything. Wow. Okay. I think I made it to the bottom. Jeff, you are the best. Thanks for all you do. Happy to. All right, well, it seems like that is it today for questions, guys. Not seeing anything else, so we will wrap it up there. I suppose a little early today, but that's all right. Anyways, all that being said, thank you everybody for coming today. Hoping to see you all next week. We'll do this every single week. My name is Noah Wickham, sales director here at My Amazon Guy. We are a full service Amazon agency. Go check us out. Link down below. We are more than happy to help with any problem anybody has. You can schedule coaching calls. So we also have plenty of coaches. I used to be the only one, and now we have tons more, thankfully. So you can book a coaching call if you want some one-on-one help with one of our experts, myself included. So go over to our coaching call page, book a coaching call. Outside of that, if you need any help on Amazon, advertising, anything in general, feel free to book a call with one of our sales representatives. And we would be happy to help you and see if it'd be a good fit for us to come on, help you grow and scale your brand. All that being said, hope to see you all next week and hope you all have a great weekend and week ahead. See everybody.